Need to do like a DLC or something where you can go back into the Dwarven past. Actually, they need to do that for Elder Scrolls as well. I guess about there. Oh, that's a good fireball hit. Well, we got too much further to go, right? This feels very windy. Oh, Ogre Alpha, so he's a big one. Oh, I was going to say, he's backhanded Shale down and he's... Ow, knocked me down too. Ooh. I'm still stuck on the female dwarf part.
So I take it that the Swamp Witch and the Grey Warden are, intimate?
I am hoping that is not a reference to Alistair.
Because it believes I'm an oblivious moron.
What up, Shay Shay?
Oh, ho, ho. It does like to laugh, does it?
Yes, it does.
Who knows?
What? You gonna handle this?
Cal, you there?
Yeah.
Done. Yes, spinny moves. Yes, now go punch him. Group attack.
Someone else take him down.
Someone else take him down. Drop it. There we go. That's much better. Alright, Hackett, PD, we might need his help. Now run at him. That's better, that's better. One down. Who's... Alrighty, we're live. Much more quiet, subtle intro this time because we're not doing a normal stream. This is a quiet, chill background stream as an experiment to see how feasible is it for me to try and do something where normally I spend a lot of time sitting and thinking to myself, trying to solve problems, whilst trying to make mods for Elder Scrolls games. So this afternoon, we're going to tinker with making a mod for Oblivion. Hello, Frosty. Thank you for tuning in. No idea how well this is going to work or not, but we'll just give it a crack. This is just a chill out session. Nothing particularly scripted. No fancy other things going on. A little bit of background music if it's working. And not even any headphones. I've got naked ears. So now I need to remember what the hell I was doing. So the point is of what we're doing here is I want to make a vampire mod for Oblivion because I always love playing as vampires in the Elder Scrolls games. The vanilla stuff is usually a bit frustrating or lacking. So I want to make my own mod because a lot of the existing ones either do too much or do things that are not lore friendly. I'm trying to strike a balance in the middle. So we'll see what we can figure out. The last thing I was trying to tinker with was seeing if I could avoid having the face activate. So apparently, well, firstly, let's load up the creation kit. Here's my mod installation with mod organizer 2. The issue with Bethesda Oblivion is that apparently it's a well-known bug. I didn't know, Frosty, until you told me about your issues. Where the vampire face actually gets distorted when loading in the game again in future, where male characters can end up looking very old and female characters can end up with a male face. And the only way to fix it is to load a save pre-vampire, then load your normal vampire save and continue. If you don't and you save, that distorted face is locked in forever. How fucking stupid is that? That is ridiculous. So I'm going to just see if I can disable it by default and allow people to enable it if they want it, because it was looking okay on my character. So what do I need to do first? We are, and hello human being. We're doing a different thing today. So not normal, yeah, it's a scary face. It's scary. I should put this on normal view. I feel like I'm really big. Why am I so massive in my camera? That's better. Yeah, it's a very scary face. Well, when I played Oblivion the first time, years and years ago, of course, I played as a vampire, but I don't remember a particularly distorted face, but I tend to play male characters in Bethesda games, especially where I have to like sort of read and voice my own lines for the dialogue. Okay, so I have a few other, let's close that. I have a few other things open. So this is the main vampire script. This is what handles the vampirism in the default game. Now I tend to edit it in Visual Studio Code to the side because it's much easier than trying to edit it in this default thing in here, which is pretty horrific. Hasn't taken me too long to figure this out because I've done a lot of Skyrim modding. This is just a more primitive version of the Skyrim tools, and it looks like Oblivion has scripts baked into the plugin files and baked into the engine a lot more, whereas in Skyrim and Fallout they're decoupled, which has both pros and cons. What I had done is I'd modified the vampire ability. Bottom somewhere. Let me know if the audio or music's a bit weird or annoying too. So Vampirism 25. I've taken out the Vampirism effect, which is supposedly what lays in the face, but when I loaded up my save before, it still had the face. I'm going to load an old save and then reacquire Vampirism. Test it that way? Vampirism, it's not in there, and the script here, I've got it initially setting the vampirism active value to 0. Well, Frosty, you're on a very tough fight in King Arthur. Oh, warriors and magic wielders are kicking your party of knights' butts. Where you need more mages. This music is terrible. Come on, Harris, what are you doing? Let's load up Oblivion. I need to remember how to more reliably give myself vampirism. Going at the full route of giving myself the full-blown disease. Get that. Orphic. Orpheric hemophilia. The only mage you've got is a Christian tyrant in his beliefs. You can't stand him on your pagan playthrough. Wow, they really get into the Christian and pagan stuff, do they? Hey Vito, how's it going, man? I saw you were on earlier. Because on Discord it showed, oh, Vito's playing Farm Simulator, and I'm like, awesome. Wouldn't mind watching a bit of Farm Simulator in the background. So I went onto Twitch and I saw that you weren't live. I'm like, oh, he's not actually streaming it. So I missed it. So yeah, we're just doing I'm just trying to attempt a chill session this afternoon, just mucking around with trying to make my own vampire mod for Oblivion. How far we get, we don't know, because I'm terrible at multitasking, so this may be horrible and boring and slow, but if it is, you know, maybe I don't do it in future. But if we just want to hang out and have a chat and watch me tinker with code and swear at Bethesda, that's cool. That's not what I wanted. I want the console command for me. I have to just look it up then, do I? Just look it up in the creation kit. So it's a disease. Many diseases in here. Vamp disease. 003 DB. All right, I'm not going to remember that, so let's just jump into Oblivion. Jump into Oblivion, load up an old save, reacquire Vampirism using my new modified Vampirism. Pause the music when I'm in this. Oh, maybe not. So this is the save I was using earlier. This one, this is when I've been doing other play testing to make sure the mods are working for my upcoming playthrough. Town of Ayleswell. So let's go back up to the town because there's a room that we can rent to, well, rent for free now that I've solved their problems and sleep. So veto the, no, the short answer is no. It's not just XML files. What it is scripts in a language called Papyrus. And in Oblivion, it's a more primitive version of Papyrus because they developed it further for Skyrim and Fallout. So it's a combination of scripting, but also using the construction kit, which, it's over here. The construction kit, which has forms and properties, and we actually link the scripts to objects and forms within the game. It's a bit of tinking. How are you a vamp at level 1? Cheating. That's the short answer. So right now I'm not. But on my other character I was. And that's because I use console cheats, because I'm not playing the game for real. I'm just doing tests. So, what do we want to do? Let's a new save here. Notice that things have sound is hella quiet. I'll tinker with that for a second. I'm using speakers for the first time whilst streaming. Trying to get the mix of here. That right down. Trying to get the mix of game sounds and background music, as long as it doesn't echo into my microphone. So if I get anything weird happening with the audio, please let me know. Looks like it's not picking up on the game sound, so that's good. Okay, so player.add spell. This is where we need to get the exact form of the porphic hemophilia disease, and add this to our character and then wait 3 days. And the code is 0003 DB3D. 0003 DB3D. Okay. We've contracted polyphoric. Porphyric. I can't even remember it now. Weird. Active effects. Porphyric hemophilia. So now when you have this disease for... Oh, shut the hell up. Where even are you? Shut up, woman. She's... Oh. Some Dunmer and Altmer are so rude. This is one of them. I just saved their whole village from being stuck invisible. Anyway, we'll do that when we do our real playthrough. Alright, so there's a bed here we can actually use for realsies.
How goes it?
So the other thing I want to do, actually, is up our sneaking, because we're going to need to do that for testing feeding. So player.set active value sneak 100.
Rumor has it the Nerevarine has left Morrowind on a...
Let's sleep. Let's sleep for 1 hour, and I think we need to do a level up, or how does that work? Ascended to level 2. Yeah, cool. Nice.
Morrowind has always been a troubling place.
Okay. So let's quick save. Now we're going to sleep for like 3 days. Vampirism to kick in. Anyone else got some snacks or some drinks cooking this afternoon? I'm eating cheese on barbecue shapes while sipping on gin. Perfect combination, right? I was going to have some rum, and I decided to have some gin instead. By the way, I'm completely open to suggestions on what we want to have functioning within this vampire mod. Alright, 1 day down. Geez, it takes a while to rest a full day. Oops, that's 1 hour. Oh, you doofus. Another day. I still find it impressive, Frosty, how you accidentally became a vampire. Normally, you have to actually put effort in. Always wanted to be a vampire, and I've always found it elusive. It's hard to become it in these games when I've played it, and then you've managed to do it without even trying. I love it. And Vito, beef and mac and cheese. Hells yes, I love mac and cheese, especially good mac and cheese. Even better, I love mac and cheese croquettes. So mac and cheese mushed into cubes and deep fried. So good. Right, now theoretically, tick over 22 hours because we did 2 other hours of resting. We should pick up a vampire. If it's working properly. Yep, there we go. Vampirism added. Cool, you dream of stuff. That's nice. I'm not going to read that right now. And look at us. Look at our face, Frosty. It worked. We're not distorted face. At least not yet. We've still got our human-looking face. And we are definitely still a vampire because we have fortify strength and fatigue from being... Oh, that's from pants. From being a vampire. All these bonuses now. And could be a debuff as well because we're more susceptible. Should be more susceptible to fire. Can't see it. Oh, there it is. Weakness to fire. There you go. So Frosty, you was a complete accident due to missing the notification. Well, that's part of the problem too. And there's a lot of notifications you can miss. Same thing in Fallout as well. So there's mods that can help with the important ones. Cool. So now we want to test out doing some feeding. Oh, it's 1:20 a.m. That's right. And I remember being around here trying to get someone to sleep in that bed there, and they weren't sleeping.
Why do you bother me?
Why do you bother me? You go away. Jeez. See, they're so rude. Goddamn dumber.
I don't have time for you.
Yeah, these people all hate us. But also, I'm guessing our disposition is low to start with.
You really enjoy this whole hero thing, don't you? Everybody fawning all over you.
Yes.
I'm not like that.
That's nice. So she can see she's got a sneering face because there's a disposition system in this game. Where, based on your personality, your race, any conditions that you've got on, it'll affect everyone else's view of you, but you can buff it. 13! That's so low! That is such a low score. It's out of 100, right? When they're 100, they really love you. 13! These people fucking hate us. Nah, we're done. Let's get out.
I'm done.
But you can do a mini game to try and boost it, right? But one of the features I'm going to add is when you feed on someone, it buffs their disposition towards you. Plan. Alright, let's see if we can travel to a part of the city that I was using previously. That's a glowing sign. That's impressive. Glowing wood. How about that? Horsey's over there, but we want to travel to the city. I know that there was someone I could feed on. Shit, where was it? Did I start in the market district and go into the... I don't know, let's just go here. I can't remember now. Goes out to the city aisle. Go up the end here. Yeah, what to do? Piss in their Wheaties. Dunmer people don't like you as much as initially compared to your mage character's race. Well, I'm a Breton. No, don't know why they hate us so much. First edition. Yeah, cool. This is where I was testing. So I think if I go through here, there's a house I can get into with someone snoozing. Acoustic Goblin, thanks, man. So this is using a whole series of mods. It's using Heartland, which is a graphics mod base using Wabberjack. I've then layered some other stuff on top of it. I've still got some setup to go, but the whole point is I'm gearing up for doing a big Oblivion playthrough starting sometime in the next few weeks. In the meantime, I want to make my own mod because I want to improve Vampirism. That's what we're tinkering with this afternoon. So we're not doing a real play, we're just doing some play testing and some mod making. Hopefully not swearing too much and hopefully not getting too confused as I gradually drink more gin and keep talking crap to chat and forgetting what I'm doing. All right, so let's quick save here. Should be a dude asleep in here. But thank you, yes, I've put a lot of effort into getting this game modded and looking good. This is as good as I can get it so far. I'm still going to see if I can do some more tweaks, but just going to do gradual play testing because Oblivion is less stable out of all of the Elder Scrolls for modding. I mean, I think Morrowind's just as bad, but we're not playing Morrowind. So Frosty, you like Breton? Yeah, I love Breton. They're kind of a hybrid kind of race. So Vito, when we do our D&D tabletop thing, I saw in your character creation, there's a race of half-elf. That's me, bruh. I'll be a half-elf. Why can't I not feed? Oh, really? Is that what enables the function? That's interesting. So the feeding function is not enabled. There we go. First problem encountered. So I've got vampire stuff on, but because I didn't add the ability... Okay, that's cool. Let us try something. I can try doing it with console. Let's see if this works. I'm going to do set active value... Vampirism. It's a 10. Ah, there we go. And that gives us the feed thing there. And does that affect our face? That's going to be the next question. Jay is going to be a half drow elf. Half drow, half wood elf. That's cool. No idea. I don't know what class to do when we do the D&D thing yet either. I typically, I play an all-rounder. Vito, can the druids shapeshift? Did I, because I saw there was druid as a class. Can they shapeshift into other animals? And like do, like in World of Warcraft, where you like, you know, you can be, you can do tanking and warrior or roguey stuff. They do, oh, okay, I'm tempted for that then. I'm tempted for shapeshifting. Frosty, can you do an ability to feed on people if they haven't noticed you, like you're sneaking up behind them? In this game, I want to try and do that. So the short answer is the game engine does not allow it unless they're asleep. And it's actually hard-coded. It's not scripted, meaning I can't change it. The other thing that's frustrating is in, so feeding here like this, your feed target, there's no way for me to grab a hold of this target because I want to make it so, for example, there's an option where you can drain all of their blood and kill them for an extra buff, right? We're putting that in. I had to do a whole bunch of jiggery pokery over the last day to make a little fake explosion spell go off to then target him so I can then do something on it. So if you have too many sleeping people next to you, it may not work properly, but it should be pretty safe, I think. Yeah, okay, cool. So we need vampirism as a thing enabled. All right, that's good to know. So now... And we've cured vampirism because I removed all the abilities and it didn't add them back. Ooh, there we go. I've totally broken vampirism. Let's go fiddle with it. So yeah, I want to do a form of combat feeding if I can. Now it might be that it doesn't do like the full feed animation. Maybe it's just going to be like a spell cast and feed through my own mechanism, and we'll do something that way because I think it would be cool to do that. Yeah, I want to do something like that. So Vita, depending on your race and alignment, DT also depending on level. Okay, so maybe I'll play Druid for the D&D stuff. What else? Oh, I'd also be interested in, I guess, like a tank role, like some sort of tanky, be a warrior tank of some kind. Or Warlock, Dark Magic. I like that too. Love Dark Magic. All right, so we need to change our script. So over here, I set this to 1. So that's when they fed this code runs through. So I removed those spells, but it's supposed to then go and add back in, but it didn't. I added these lines in here. All right, let's make sure we set that to 1. Let's just try a vampirism setting of 1, which is the minimal amount of base morphing. Save that. The same. Still with that. Removes those and then adds them again. Before when I did. All right, let's leave it like that for now. Copy. Modify the vampire quest script again. Save. Yep, that compiled. Save it. Whoop. I had it open twice. All right, well, let's make sure I've done the correct one. Save. Okay. Save the plugin. Let's try that again. Let's try becoming a vampire again and see what that does. Some more cheese. Have to go all the way back. Oh, ballsack! I only quick saved as well. That's loud. So Vito, you in D&D, you're going to be doing a tank with a shield bearer or something. Yeah, nice. All about that group welfare. I'll do a hard save this time so I can quickly go back to loading with everything ready. Be activating a vampire. Back in the end. Okay, player dot set active value sneak 100. Active value 1 word, that's better. Now I need to remember the damn code again for temp disease 0003 something. Come on, give me the pop-up. Yeah, 0003 DB3D. Player.add spell 0003 DB3D. Cool. The ability, the disease, let's save, a new save. Now we're in business. 3 days. This is some big brain stuff. It can be. Mod making can be. Oh man, I've made some complex mods for Skyrim. The first modding I ever tried in any game was making a mod for Skyrim where it allowed you to be a hybrid, both vampire and werewolf. And they are some of the most complex mechanics in Skyrim. And I had no idea how to do any of it. So that was a very steep learning curve. But it means I can quickly jump into Oblivion, having only looked at stuff for like, you know, a day and a half. And, I can understand enough of it now. Yeah, there's lots of easy mods you can make as well. Anyone can tackle it, but it depends on what you want to do. Alright, I've quick saved. Maybe what we'll do is we'll leap it right down. Then I'll do a hard save before the last little bit of time we need to pass. Vito, think of doing a barbarian and subclass in Path of the Ancestral Guardian. That's very... Is that specific to the, I guess, the campaign or the world or the realm that you're going to be taking us through? Please forgive my very noobish D&D questions, because I just have never done it and know very little about it. Let's now do 15 hours. I've already picked over Vampirism. All right,
What is it, Mother Sarah? What's the latest?
Okay, do we have... Okay, we don't have the distorted face. That's cool. We do have the abilities. We should be able to feed. Excuse me.
I see. Heard any news from...
We'll test that. Just want to make it reliable first, and then we're going to tinker with some of the advanced feeding that I want to implement, like the ability to drain someone dry. So Vito, the only law you've set up is for your epic player from previous games that you've played. All right, cool. Awesome. Oh, what's going on? Few wrong turns lead to a dead-end alley. Turn around to continue to the market district. Okay. What the hell was that? It was weird, but anyway, we're here where we want to be. I've never seen that before. By the way, one of the most essential mods is sprinting. There's like a sprint mod that I've put on, because by default you can't sprint in Oblivion. And it feels so wrong not being able to sprint. I use it all the time. So glad I found it. Right, I'm gonna bust in here again and find that sleeping noble guy. As far as lore goes for the campaign, you're trying to work on the lore thing and setting. Oh, fair enough. Looking forward to hearing more about it. Frosty, you're short, so maybe go a halfling. Yes. Yes, a hobbit. Ooh. Oh, you know what? Why not fix the script? Oh, why not fix the script? This is what happens when I talk too much. No, I said Vampirism active value is 1. It's not enough. It needs to be higher. Let's see what happens. So, player.set active value Vampirism 1 is what we're on now. Now we get the feed thing. Do it in the script. That's interesting. And welcome to where all of your time sinks when you want to do any kind of scripting with making mods for Bethesda games, because... Okay, so we can still feed. We've broken that now. magic look. I've somehow lost the other... Maybe because you can't add and remove the spells too quickly. Maybe that's what's upsetting it. Oh, well, let's test that again, shall we? No, I'm not going to push the interact button, but it showed only pickpocket, not feed/pickpocket. But what I did is I put this in here, so I'm going to remove this. Move this back out again, so I think that's what's upsetting it. I've made it remove all abilities and then re-add all the abilities. I'm wondering if the script engine cannot handle that, removing and adding of the same thing too closely together in this same chunk of code. Where yeah, a lot of trial and error comes in and learning all the issues that this fucking engine has. Okay, so set AV player, set active value, Vampirism to 1. Vampirism, I've spelled that correctly. Okay. When we fed, we lost all that. And, when we first become... When we first become a vampire, and because I've removed the vampirism effect that just does the visuals and the flag, this is why the feed's missing. Cool. So we're going to grab that one and we're going to put this up here as well. That's all of that. We're going to add in there. Comment so I know for later. Need vampirism active value. Otherwise, no feed button. Player has been cured. Reset has disease. We're not going to be doing much cure testing today yet either. Copy the code into our Vampire Quest script. Plug in that all compiled. Cool. Test it again. This is why I've got more play hours in Skyrim testing my mods than actually playing the damn game. Vito, there's 16 elf types. Damn. Alright, so I think we had, yes, we shall do some sleepy sleeps. Do 2 days of sleep, then I shall save the game. So we don't have to do it again. Our vampirism will be all set, ready to activate. But Vito wants to play, sorry, Frosty wants to play a short elf. And I want to play a hybrid elf. Wood elves are usually short. Yep. Same in Elder Scrolls actually. The wood elves are shorter. If anyone's wondering, I've got ultimate leveling installed, which changes how we level up statistics. So that's why when we hit level 2, I'm not having to choose any attributes. I don't like that. All right, let's rest for another 24 hours. Vito, for wood elves in the D&D setting, are they cannibalistic at all? Because they are in Elder Scrolls. They're almost metavores due to their... We're going into the lore now, but due to the pact. Forest... what was it called? With Ifray, the forest god dude. But they're not allowed to harm plants, so they can only eat meat. Move over that one. Hannibal Lecter would be proud, yeah. Yeah, so wood elves in the Elder Scrolls, they yeah, they can't eat plants. So they only eat meat. Sometimes what they do as well is they eat the meat of their fallen enemies. And on top of that, sometimes they starve themselves before going into battle. They get into a bit of a hunger rage thing to increase their fighting prowess. All right, how do we look? All right, cool. So we still don't have a distorted face. We do have vampirism. We should have the active value set. Let's run out, run into the city.
What is it?
And test feeding again. I think you can get a racial ability cannibalizing. Actually, no, it's not implemented as a racial ability. Is it? Mods, I know the mods, there are some mods that add it. Oh, we got some rain. Not been able to get good looking rain in Oblivion.
How goes it?
It's as good as we can get it. I'm the sleepy bald man. I've spent an entire 45 minutes dicking around just trying to smooth out this whole change. What happens when we first become a vampire? Start of the journey. All right, can we feed? Yes, we have the prompt. That's what we were wanting. Let's do a feed now. Oh, and we still have the feed prompt. And we still don't have a distorted face, and we still have vampirism abilities. Huzzah! Mission accomplished. There we go. So that's kind of what you were looking for, right, Frosty? That's what you were after. No vampirism, distorted face. Cool. So that's for level stage 1 of vampirism. It does that. So what I might now do is change the other stages. So as you progress through your vampirism, currently it will up the face distortion. So I'm going to go and disable that now. And I'm going to show you like the drain feature that I want to implement. Let's exit. I didn't save. I didn't do a save. Oh, it's after you quit and came back in, you saw it. Interesting. For me, initially, it was immediate. I had to have fed, though, because I gave myself vampirism a wonky way the first time round. But first, what we're going to do is, so the abilities, the vampire abilities are what contain the flags for the engine to do the face morphing. So vampirism 25, that's what we just acquired. So I'm going to modify vampirism 50. So this is stage 2. And this thing here, for this vampirism effect, in Oblivion, you can't create any new spell types. They're all hard-coded in the game. You can do script effects, which is what I've done for this feeding thing I'll show you in a minute. But this vampirism effect, all it does is distort the face or morph the face based on a certain magnitude. So I'm just going to remove it altogether. And if people want to have distorted faces, I'm going to add that as an option later through some menu configurations. But for now, We're just removing it. So if we go to stage 2, we still won't have a distorted face. Same for stage 3. I'll have a separate ability that I'll create with that effect that is going to be optional for players in stage 4. So most magnitude 100, the most distorted your face can possibly get. I'm going to have an option so you get like the vanilla distortion and no distortion like now, and then like a rank 1 distortion, which should theoretically just give you the minorest of vampire looks, which still would probably be susceptible to the weird vampirism face bug, but there are some mods and workarounds. But anyway, I'm going to have it there if people want it. It's all about choice, and it should not be too hard for me to implement that. All right, so all facial distortion is gone. Now, where is my... Okay, feed target script. Let's rename that to, that's a PSC file now. Yes, open it in Visual Studio Code. The authors of these files. Yes, because I'm the author. Okay. What am I going to do? I'm just going to disable this comment that I've added. Let's grab that entire script. Come over here. This is a script that I've made for effectively finding target, the feed target. Hell of a job that was, but I found a way. It works, I think, fairly well. Anyway, let's launch back in. So, wood elves are not cannibalistic. They are slightly taller than their cousins, the drow. Oh, so the drows are the short ones in D&D lore. All right. My only real knowledge of D&D lore comes from when I played Baldur's Gate, which is based on it, right? It's not even proper full D&D. Baldur's Gate 1, I played... Oh. Like 20% of the game, I didn't get that far. Well, let's bust in, fill this, and feed on this guy. Now watch this. My plan is to make it, when you feed, it gives you a menu, and you say, hey, do you want to extract some blood and make some blood potions you can carry with you for later? Or, hey, do you want to drain this sucker dry and get a power-up, a permanent power-up? Watch this, we feed on him. This should still be working, I think. And he should die, because I've just hard-coded it in the script. There we go, he's dead. Power-up time. But let's just check our statuses now. So that's all working good. Ooh, we got the eyes back. Interesting. And that was your point, Frosty. When you loaded back in, you had the face change. Okay. Well, look at that then. Let's load the quick save. To your point, that might be what I'm missing. See here, no distorted face. It's all fine. Got all the level 1 vampirism effects. When I feed, feeding is giving it to us. Giving us the distorted face. Why this? Let's try that again. You went from just red eyes to double chin and just nastiness. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's normal looking eyes there. Oh, what the hell going on, Oblivion? Let's restart the whole game again. Maybe because you drained him dry? No, because there's no power up. I haven't given a power up yet. All it does is kill him. So I know that's not the cause, because it's my code that's done that. That's all me. So it does kill him, but that's just by calling one line that says, hey, kill the target. Got a bunch of shit I've had to dick around to find the target. But, and it sounds so simple. Well, you're just pointing at him. Not so simple when it comes to scripting. And this is what really fucking irritates me with Bethesda too. There's the script extender someone else has made for Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout, everything. All of them, the script extenders, they have a feature where you can call a function and it'll grab whatever your cursor is pointing at. And then in the scripts, you've got whatever that item is to manipulate, because by default, you don't have that. Why are not Bethesda implementing everything that's been put into the script extender, into their code, into the default thing? I don't know. Really, really stupid. There we go. So we do have the distorted eyes there. But this is what you were describing, Frosty. Yes. I load again? Still got it. Okay. When I fed before, loaded. Maybe I'm not going to be able to. Bit of this. Get to load a pre-vamp save to current save and pray for no crash. Well, I haven't had any crashes in my testing. But I'm not a female character. Female characters, it's more prevalent. And now when I load it, no distortion. This is going to be an interesting thing to explore. They're going to toggle on and off. So I loaded that exact same save. Still no distortion. It's like when I first load in, we're getting the vampire face. And loading again. Oh, no, that was a crash. And this is why I hate doing mods, because you spend most of your time figuring out Bethesda bugs rather than your own code. I should be debugging my code, not Bethesda's. Fucking hell. When you go through the door, have a look. Yep, I'll do that too, Vito. Good idea. Right, so we got vampire eyes, which I actually don't mind, but I'm just trying to smooth this process out so it becomes an optional thing. Let's step through. We got it. Okay, load game. Okay, loading a second time has a clear face. Question is, do I care right now? Why have we got the dodgy face in the first place? Because we've got a vampirism active value of 1, so we can get the feeding prompt. I've also created a power I can cast, so I can just cast the power on a target, and that makes him feed as well. But that's going to be annoying if you've got to juggle like all these powers. I just wanted to make it natural. You never minded the vampires. It was the double chin and weak cheekbones that, yeah, made them look horrible. Well, my plan is to always keep it at a minimum level that for the morphing. But your issue is likely the face bug that happens where if you're on a female character, the face engine bugs out and it gives you a male face for your character, which doesn't map properly to the female body and it looks all wonky. Go through the door and check like Vito said. Yeah, we're still good. Interesting. But now I'm probably just going to leave that as is because spend hours and hours debugging the dumbest little thing. So we'll leave that like that for now. Feed. Guessing if I save again with the face, maybe then it's locked in as well. Good point. Why don't we test that out before we move on. Okay, let's exit. Hello, Sparkle Sauce. You're cooking dins for Squawkhead. Is that little baby glitter jam? Or is we're just doing quiet, semi-boring stuff anyway. As I'm trying to make mods. All right, so we got the eyes. So now let's. Can I do a save? Save. Let's do just a new save. Okay. What did we do before? We busted in here. I think if we fed, we still had it, right? It was just reloading. Alright, so do a reload of my quick save. And crash. Cool. Now that's what you've been describing, Frosty. At least I can repeat the problem. And why vampirism got to be so difficult? Load the busted one. I've got the eyes. Load that one again. Loading it again was giving us the clean face. Before. We're looking now. Oh, okay, still got vamp face. We step through the door. We've stepped through the door. Now let's load the save, which forces a load because it forces to load the cell. Maybe that's part of it. There we go. Clean face. Cool. All right, that's the fix. Now if we load the real save, which I saved with the vamp face. Let's step through the door and do it. This is so fiddly. Breaking my brain. Should not be debugging Bethesda issue. Ah, fucking crashed. Not be debugging Bethesda's crap. Be just debugging my own crap. All right, this is the save with the busted face. Now, what should theoretically happen this time round, if I'm guessing correctly from what I've read? If I load now that save, still now have the vamp face. And it's clean. All right, I don't, whatever. Sometimes it's going to be vampy, sometimes it's going to be clean. Right now, I don't care. Because I'm going to limit the amount of distortion, and I've done everything that I can to remove flags that cause the game to do the face morphing. Leave it. All right. So now what I want to do is when we feed, I want to prompt a menu. Says, hey, do you want to create, first thing we want to do, I guess, let's make a blood potion. So I want to make it so you can collect some blood potions, take with you, so you don't always have to feed for fresh people, but maybe they'll be not as good. Like, yeah, using a blood potion is not as good as feeding off of someone, I think. Peter, when you get done screaming, you can run us all through the way you roll for attributes in character. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, that's right, because D&D, is that right? Where you actually have to roll to see how many attribute points you can assign. And in Baldur's Gate, you had to roll, but then you could save your best roll and keep rolling till you got a better one. And I'm like, just let people have the maximum number of attributes. Don't add chance to it. People are just going to save scum or power through it anyway till they get what they want. Different for tabletop because there's no loading and saving in tabletop. Okay, potions. We want something that looks red. What is, maybe we can Google that. Oblivion. Because what we're gonna do is just copy a potion and then change its attributes, change what it does. Okay, we don't care about wine. Peter, you do 4 rolls of a six-sided dice or a d6, and you drop the lowest one. Okay, well that keeps it in the realm, I guess. Now we'll just go potions by Oblivion. All right, well that's different. Problem is, there's no easy way for me to view what things look like in the creation kit. Instruction set, it's called for. There's not a lot to choose from anyway. Most of these use poison, so that's poisons. How about just plain potions? Potion 01.nif. These don't look much different. It just looks the same. They've got different icons instead. Is that what I should be looking at? Yeah. Oh, very similar. There mustn't be much diversity in the game by default. Potion of dedication. All willpower, okay. Skooma, yeah, where's the skooma? Different. Let's see what skooma looks like. That might be more closer to what we want with the file. Skooma, show me a skooma file. That looks pretty terrible. Skooma looks better in Skyrim. Vampirism cure, which is like a just pick a restore health. Pick. Copy that one. All right, so we are going to call this AAA Blood Vial. Create a new object. Yes. I've created a new potion. It currently does have an effect of restoring health. Cool. Weight of 0.5. Let's bump that right down to blood can be very small and light. Let's just call it 0.1. Blood vial. I will add a script later. And now it's just going to restore health. Okay. Save. So we've created our blood vial. Excellent. Hello, Midnight Rose. Thanks for coming along. A bit different to our normal, exciting, animated playthroughs of stuff. I realise now that the text on my screen probably looks unreadable to everyone else too. Apologies, I can't actually change that. Making a mod for Oblivion. That's what we're doing. I'm just sort of hanging out. Vito's talking a lot about how he runs the D&D tabletop stuff. So we're going to be doing like a community event soon on Discord where we'll play some tabletop stuff with Vito being our dungeon master. And I've never done that before, so I'm excited. That's going to be cool. For anyone tuning in, why don't I drop a link? Yeah, if anyone is watching who might be interested in joining our Discord. Have I not put that in my clipboard? I haven't. Let me copy the link and paste it in. Links for Discord are also on my Twitch profile. There we go. Okay, so I was going to implement a menu. Menus work here. I'll find this. This is on my other PC. I was looking this up. Oblivion CS menu. Yes. And they had some working examples of menu, message box. Almost. There's the sample code I saw. To do. do a message box first. All right. Cool. Going through. But I've also put a flag so you can't feed on the same person quickly. You can't feed on them multiple times a day. You can't extract multiple vials of blood. Player, do nothing. Otherwise, if they're essential, kill them. But then this is where we could kill them. So let's change that. Sleeping. Haven't been fed on. Not the player. What I'm going to do about the essentialness. Put that out for the moment. Player, let's do some stuff. Add our flag back to the target. Message box. Hello, boy. Oh, sparkle sauce. This is riveting stuff. Exactly right. That's why I tried to put in the description and the warning. This is not a normal stream. So which which action, and we are going to say feed drain and extract a vial. Cool. Now I need to check how that works. Frosty's taken out rage on murdering lots of things in games. I do the same thing sometimes. We need choice. Choice. Get button pressed. Cool. Integer, right? Integer. So int choice. So we say set choice to get button pressed. Seems to be a function in the scripting. Okay. So we say if choice equals 0, that was feeding, feed, else if choice equals 1, that was to drain them, else if choice equals 2, let's make it look neat, was to extract a vial and if. Cool. Theoretically, that functions. Let's just put the drain code in from down here, or from up here. Let's see if that works. Cool. Let's see if I coded that right based on what I was reading and what I think I understand. So this is for our feed target script. Compile. Hey, compiled. No errors. Save. Cool. Let's test that. This is the fun stuff. Who's the extra? Have I got one of the baby sources watching Sparkle Source? One of the babies watching how to code? And it grew up to be an awesome Cody nerd? Alright, let's check this shit out. Is it gonna work? Feed on this guy. Give me my menu. We feed. Give me my menu. Hey, there we go. Performance action, feed, drain, or extract file. Now, if I drain him, he should die. He didn't die. Okay, that didn't work. Do I need to change the order of when we set variable? That did not work. Well, let's just, before we do that, let's just, oh, not quick load. Yeah, quick load's fine. We'll try it again. So what mod are we making? I'm making a vampire mod. So I don't like the vanilla stuff is too boring and too much of a bother. It's more of a burden. And there's a lot of bugs with it. But there's a lot of other mods that people have made that do too much. That either try to do too much, and now a lot of them don't work because like the script extender code has changed and stuff. Others, that looks weird. That's not the right color, is it? Others have tried to change it into like a game about being a vampire. So they're doing too much. And some have deviated from what the actual lore is in Elder Scrolls. They've deviated too far for my liking. And considering I've made some complex mod for Skyrim, I thought, why don't I have a crack at making a mod for Oblivion? Doesn't look too hard, but there are a lot of differences I'm trying to wrap my head around. Rain did not work. It is not forming anything. Cool, so it's not working. Ways to get button press. That's what I wrote. I did a similar thing. Unless it's supposed to be a short, not an integer. That's possible. That here does it. Okay, can't see any reference there. Let's just try it with a short. Script. This is my new script. Compile. Yep, that seems happy. Hello, Elvin. How you doing? Sorry, Alvin, I missed your earlier comment. Yeah, we're just mucking around making mods for Oblivion. I want to make a vampire mod because I don't like what exists out there. I've made mods for Skyrim, so theoretically I can make mods for Oblivion. And I just wanted to try something different for stream. How it goes. In the formal, prepared gameplay. Still not working, okay. Not gonna lie, you're excited for Oblivion. Oh yes, me too. I will definitely be playing that. The other thing that's interesting is I learnt that Morrowind exists, where someone has already put Morrowind into Oblivion. But then there's also Skywind coming, where they're putting a Morrowind into Skyrim. But yes, Oblivion looks awesome. I will definitely play it. I originally wasn't going to bother with Oblivion at all until I saw that actually the graphics can be loaded up okay, so we're going to do both. And Oblivion is still a while away. I think it's still at least 12 months away. Possibly more. Okay, so that's not working. This code is not working. What they do, get button pressed. We need to look it up. Button pressed function. Turn caps off. Does this work? Let's read the documentation. The first time this is called, after a message button has been pressed, it returns the button number. 0 indicates the first. Yep. Very similar to how it's done in Skyrim, which I've done before. Int. It is an int. Well, okay, I had it as an integer to start with, so let's change it back. Integer. Integer is a type of number that can only be a whole number, if anyone's wondering. There's no 0.5s or anything like that. So Made Night Rose, you're excited. You're excited for me. Been dying for them to come out so you can re-experience Oblivion in better graphics and possibly experience Morrowind in a way that you don't get lost 5 seconds off the boat. Yeah, Morrowind I think is hard. To be honest, the Morrowind story doesn't really strike a strong note with me anyway. It's very heavily lore focused. The Morrowind lore, but I do like I've played Morrowind for like a couple of hours. I had no idea what was going on. That was my first introduction to Elder Scrolls. But playing it in the Skyrim engine, so Skywind, I'll definitely play that. Now that I know a lot more about the lore, I'll understand what's going on and be able to sort of explain it along the way. So the player has pressed a button, that's exiting the menu, but another 15 frames before get button pressed return. But there's different modes in these scripts. Menu started from a game, then exiting the menu will return the player to game mode, and you should use started from a menu mode block to menu mode, and you should get button pressed in a general menu mode for that specific block. Jesus. For using get button pressed in a magic, note that the script effect blocks will only run in game mode. This means that you need 15 to 20 frames every press to make sure the get button press returns player's choice. For a single menu, you should give your spell a duration at least 3 seconds. For multi-layered menus, I need to add duration to my spell. Right. Is that the issue? Okay. Try that then. Where's my spell? Speed, target spell, duration. 10 seconds for now. The spell is finishing too quick that the script is killed. What's going on? Let's try it. Let's load back in. Oblivion was absolute gold. The quests are very well done. Yes, they are. Completely agree. To be honest, most people think that the quests for Oblivion are better written than Skyrim. I somewhat agree. I remember doing the Thieves Guild quest in Oblivion. I had no idea what I was doing or what to expect. But holy shit, that actually had some really interesting twists and turns in story. Same for the Dark Brotherhood. I'm definitely looking forward to doing that when I kick off playing this. And hello, Go Flyers, how are you, man? We're not doing a proper playthrough, we're tinkering around with making mods in preparation for my upcoming playthrough in a few weeks' time. I'm trying to improve the vampire experience. Now, let's see if this works. Okay, now is my drain thing going to work? No, still doesn't like that. Thing. I am doing good. Although I'm sad that the weekend is ending. Cool, so that still hasn't worked. You know, menus are going to be this hard. There, and then we end the thing. Do I need to add artifact? A magic effect. Note that the script effect blocks will only run in game mode. Means you need spell that get first returns the player's choice, where a single menu should give you a spell a duration of at least 3 seconds. For multi-lane, you might be more up to 30 seconds. In script effect, message box, effect update. Okay, that's how we're going to do it, is it? We're using this function in a magic spell script. If the target has a script that also uses get button press, only one of the scripts will return the correct response. Well, that's fine. We should be safe. This is what we need to do. So it's in there. Then we're going to do an update. Set the choice and do the actions. Cool. Do that. We are learning. Ends that block. And that's the new block we need to do. Cool, cool. Go Flies, for you, it just turned Sunday. For us, it is a closing Sunday, for it is Sunday evening. Are you in the, are you over somewhere in the Americas? Or the Europes somewhere? And Midnight Rose, 100% agreed. You love the storyline of the Dark Brotherhood and Oblivion and the Thieves Guild. Hells yeah. So it's 4 AM right there for you, Vito. Yeah. Ah, love your night, your nocturnal nature. Because it means we get to hang out. You're the East Coast of the US. Cool, cool, cool. The East Coast. I think I still have a world clock on my phone for that. East Coast is 4 AM as well, right? 4:10, is that right? 4:10. Hey, got it. Yeah, because that's the same time zone as Atlanta. And I have Atlanta world clock on my phone, because I've had to deal with a vendor who lives in, well, previously, so JFrog. With my real job, sometimes I've got to deal with the JFrog people, and they are in Atlanta. Okay, so this is where we need to do the actions here. Perform which action? So initially we'll set it to minus... Cool, alright, so we're going to take this, that out, we're going to chuck it into here. Properly formatted. Bell is in effect up here. It is prompting the menu. Start with that choice to be -1. So I'm guessing this can run in a separate thread potentially. Let's just do it here as a safety. Set choice to -1. That way nothing will action here. That should be there. Cool, copy that code, put it in our new script. A target script, save, compile. Hey, haven't had many compile errors so far, so I'm pretty happy about that. But Vito, you're 2 hours southeast of Atlanta. Cool. To be honest, I only have a rough idea of where all this fits together. I'm very bad at geography. Just in through here. So look, I am very excited to be playing Oblivion in our mainstream soon. It'll be fun. I need to get some more mods installed and configured, and I need to get my own mod working. Let's try this. Hey, that worked! Success! Cool, we have a working menu for when we feed on someone. Cool, we can drain him and get some extra bonuses. Or we can drain him and create a blood vial. Okay, so let's add that functionality. Hells yeah. Vito, you think you've got your character sheet about done, you just need some miscellaneous stuff to add. Roll for cool hairstyle. Does your character have an epic beard, Vito? Yeah, thanks, man. This is part of the the frustration and the joy that comes out of mod making for these games. So in Skyrim and Fallout, it's completely different as to how certain things are run in what order. So there's no separating out. Things are more multi-threaded in the Papyrus engine for Skyrim and Fallout. This is a more primitive version. But anyway, we found the working examples. So we found how to drain them. I haven't implemented any spells to give us a bonus yet. So I'll look at doing that, but let's do a vial extraction thing. So let's, why don't we do that? So come over here into our, I can't remember what we've called it. Potions, there we go, AAA blood vial, that's what we want. Your character can't grow hair. Is that because they have alopecia? What race, actually? What race have you chosen, Vito? I can't remember. I think you said earlier, but I've already forgotten. Yeah, when we have the blood vial, we say player dot add item blood vial 1. Making an obsidian. Obsidian? Kind of like a rock golem. Hell yeah, that is awesome. I didn't know that was an option. Rock golem, definitely, yes, I like that. Okay, then can he grow moss? Can he grow a cool moss hairstyle or moss beard instead? Because that would be imp. Okay, which action? Feed, drain, or extract vial? Feed, we've kind of just done. Which action? Would be good if we could be prompted with this before we feed, but we can't. We can only react to the feeding being done. So unfortunately, you're always going to do the whole feed thing, then get a menu to choose what happens. That's just going to be a limitation of Oblivion, because we can't intercept the feeding until after it's happened to call any kind of event. I'm already doing backflips with other spells here to try and find the target that we've fed on, which theoretically hopefully works reliably, but we'll find out. Alright, so that adds a vial. So perform week's action is just feeding, draining, or extracting a vial. So feeding, we'll just leave that text for the moment. So feeding effectively does nothing because you've already fed. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can make that work. The code, chuck that into our new spells script. Save, compile, sweet. Save the plugin, load up our modded Oblivion. So your dude can have moss. Excellent. Mossy hair or mossy beards. How tall is your character? Is he going to be like 12 feet tall? Maybe 10. Maybe limited but 10 so he's not too ridiculous. Let's feed on this guy. Now I want to extract a vial of blood. Hey, blood vial added. Where do we find blood vial? It's blue. That is terrible. Why is it blue? Potion of healing. I copied the healing potion. Hell, I copied the healing potion item. Why is mine blue? Unless it's random? What if we do it again? 6'8". 6'8", still very tall, so I think that's pretty suitable for a rocky golem dude. It's like Korg. Oh, hey, bro. Name's Korg. The pile of rocks over here. Okay, so it's got a value. Oh, it's actually got monetary value. We might tweak that, but it's blue. Come on, man. We want it to be red. Blood is red. Okay, so weak potion of healing is red. Weak potion of insight, so weak potion of healing. Let's go find that. Thought that's what I copied already. Sort it by the name. Weak potion. Over here. Weak potion of healing. Not there. There it is. Weak potion of healing. Name, isn't it? Icon potion 01. Another one. AAA. Blood. Vial. O2. This one also. Blood. Or should I say vial of blood. To make it. I won't change the other items at the moment. Potion value. Oh, auto calculate. Oh, okay, cool. I'll leave that for now. Create a new form, yes please. Altered it by editor ID. Change our code to say 002. Oh, just 02. Save. Your script again. Feed target script. Yep. Save. I'll save the plugin. Load Oblivion. Maybe the dude just has blue blood. That's fair. I didn't think of this. Maybe that's what's going on. The game is too smart. It's not that the creation toolkit is a complete pain in the ass. No, it's actually trying to be helpful. Give me a red vial. There we go. Full of blood added. It's blue! I don't know. Is it just because... Does the menu instead change the color so you can always see the difference here? What? I wonder if the menu is overriding it somehow. Let's add in another one. Let's console add this one. What's it? Over here, we are loaded in, I think, 4D, I think was the plugin. Now we're getting complex. So, player got add item. I think it was 4D was my plugin's order. ID order. All the first two digits, so 00. 00, then 3 EC2. 00, 3 EC2. Ah, just one, please. There we go. Blue, blue, blue. Fuck! Potion of Cure Poison is red as well. Why are... frustration. So that is blue, that's blue. We're definitely stuck with blue for these. Unless it is still possible that the UI mod stack is changing it. Vito, is that in Discord you've added a picture of your D&D character, your rock guy? Is that what you've said? Go Flyers! New to my channel, have I played Dragon Age? Oh yes. Oh yes, we have. So, on YouTube, I have also... So all of my streams are available on YouTube. Some of them are not as organized as I'd like to be, so I need to fix that. But Dragon Age Origins is all on YouTube in playthrough high definition episodes. I am still yet to upload my playthrough of Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition. I have them recorded. I haven't done the uploads of the edited versions, but the live streams are all there. And I'm quite behind on my video editing. I was going to start doing some video editing soon, but instead I decided to make mods for Oblivion because I didn't like the vampirism that's in Oblivion, and I want to play Oblivion soon. Oh dear. My own fault. So that's still not... Pure Poison was also red. Version of Cure Poison. That was showing up as red as well. They still just use the same icons. We change the texture file. They just have to leave it for now. So Go Flies, you've been playing Dragon Age Origins. Yes, well, I played it heavily modded. As you can see, my Oblivion's heavily modded. But yeah, that's a fantastic... All the Dragon Ages are good in their own way. But Dragon Age Origins blew my mind back when it first came out and I played it. So good. Acoustic, would it be possible to turn off the UI mod and see if it looks different in the vanilla one? That's probably a very sensible idea. Why don't we do that? First, going to make our script give us both blood files for a comparison. Why don't we give that a crack? So I'll just change this. Save, compile. Yep. Compile. So the UI mod I'm using is called Northern UI. It's bundled into the Heartland Wabberjack mod list. Here's the UI section. There we go. Let's turn off Northern UI. These. Let's see if it works because there's other mods installed. No, it breaks them. This. We got here missing masters. Which mod? Oh, why is it so zoomed in? Bashed Patch is complaining about map and okay. Does that fix it? Yes, it does. Can we launch? Ooh, maybe. No. No, this is the problem with doing heavy mod lists. If I turn off the UI, it is crashing because there's other mods that also link into it, and I would have to find and disable all of them. What if we try turning these two off? And let's just turn off our bashed patch for the moment. See if that helps. Oh, 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 hey! Alright, so let's... Is it going to load our game? That's the next question. Oh, oh. Yes, okay. Wow, I forgot how clunky the interface can feel. Cool. Go Flyers. Do I know of any other game series like Dragon Age? The other big series I'm a massive fan of is Mass Effect. So Mass Effect was but that's a sci-fi. It's not a fantasy setting. So I highly recommend that. But that's a sci-fi game, not a fantasy setting like this. But there are other. What else has got good similar stories? I guess Mass Effect is awesome sci-fi. Yep, Vito's on the same thing. I mean, there's the Elder Scrolls stuff, which is very good, but it's different. So it's not like Dragon Age, which has a super gripping, compelling story. Elder Scrolls stuff is more exploratory and an open world, more so than doing things like having an amazing story. Yeah. Witcher. Yeah, true. The Witcher series is pretty good. All right. I think maybe we've solved our question here. These are still looking very blue. They're looking like they're from a different mod as well. There might be an icon mod, maybe. It's changing the color of these things. With blue still. All right. I like your thinking, Acoustic Goblin. That has helped narrow it down. Let's turn that back on because, oh, that was... Forgot how rough, how rough the original interface can be. There we go. It's all re-enabled. So, is there another... Is there an icon-related mod got installed? Probably. The problem is I'll be digging around for ages trying to solve something. Can't really solve. I have blue vials for the moment, I think. So Acoustic Goblin, Divinity Original Sin 2 is amazing. Yes. So that's a top-down or isometric view. I love isometric games. I've played so many of them. If I make a game, like I've had various ideas about making my own game using like Unreal Engine or something like that. If I did, it would be fantasy based and it would be top down as well, isometric. I've played Divinity Original Sin 1, but I only played like halfway through, and I did enjoy it, but I don't remember why I didn't finish it. But Original Sin 2 is meant to be even better. And I believe you don't have to have played number 1, is that right? One thing that's annoying with mod organizers is it's difficult to search. Search for... There might be changing icons. Right, for the moment, I don't think we're going to bother. I'm just going to leave it as is so we can continue on with our mod creation rather than debunking or debugging what's going on from other mods. Okay, so we've got a blood file. It will go back to original one, and that says vial of blood, and that says blood vial. I like the term vial of blood. We're going to make our own magic effect for that soon, where you can drink it. Plus, it'll do the same as a feed. Problem is, the feeding activities take place here in this Vampirism Vampire Quest script. Wonder if I look to take all of this functionality out, put it into spell, and we call the spell each time. No, that's going to be risky. That's a lot of re-engineering. Have I ever heavily modded any of the Fallouts? Yes. So I played Fallout 3 and New Vegas, although I never finished them. I had them moderately modded, but I played them when they'd only been out for a couple of years, so there weren't heaps of mods. When I played Fallout 4, again, it'd only been out for a couple of years, so I only had some mods. I'm planning to play Fallout 4, and so Oblivion heavily modded, obviously. We're going to be doing Fallout 4 quite heavily modded. Maybe call it more medium modded. There's not as much that needs changing. But moderately modded Fallout 4, I'll be playing in a couple of months' time as well. But one of the big changes to that I'm going to be doing is two things. One is we're playing with the Nora spouse mod. So effectively, we'll be running around with our wife, which is reintroduced through the mod, because, spoiler alert, at the start of the game you have to play one or the other. We're going to be playing the male Nate with Nora, our wife, so that's one big change. Another change is I plan to make a mod for it that allows you to be like a hybrid super mutant, because no one's really made that yet, and I think it would be kind of cool, and I think I know how to do it based on other Skyrim modding that I've been doing, in a way that's still balanced, it's still lore friendly, and will have some subtle references to some of the plot twisty lore and hinted at lore also potentially from what Todd Howard has hinted at in a comment in an interview once upon a time. So that's my plan. That one should hopefully be easier to implement than what I'm doing now, but we'll see. I also would like to have a mod where you can hear all of your followers banter or interjections without having to have them all come with you. So there's a couple of mods that allow you to have big parties. They've got challenges in other ways. I want to just try and make a mod that allows them to contribute to all of the dialogue and conversations, because I think that'd be pretty cool. Problem is that's quite difficult, so I may not achieve that one. Okay, so we can now... I'm going to leave the feeding for the moment with the vials. I'm not going to touch that yet. What I want to tackle now is let's give ourselves some kind of bonus to draining. So the more people we drain, the more bonuses we get. Now, this is a lot simpler to implement in Skyrim. So Ine Shayon has done that in one of his mods for Vampirism for Skyrim. But it's easy, you can just modify a certain value. You can't do that in Oblivion. So I was going to do boost health magicka and fatigue by 1 point permanently. Each time you drain someone. Can't do it. Because in Oblivion, all those values are derived. They're calculated based on things like your endurance, your intelligence, etc. So I'm going to create a new global variable. Can I create it? Yes, I can. So let's call it number of drained victims. We're going to track that via a global variable. And then every 5 drainings we do, I think we're going to, or just have to have, I don't know, a whole shitload of buffs and just switch them out. I can do a magic effect, active effect to fortify those attributes. So that's what we're going to do. Acoustic Goblin, question back to you. Have you played these modded games, and how heavily have you modded them? Because there's there's kind of an art form to playing a modded game, in that, to me, you need to find the right balance so you're not spending all of your time trying to configure and make all mods work, but also you want to keep it true to the intention or the theme of the game. There's mods that create all kinds of crazy things for Skyrim, and they just don't fit. Same for Fallout. The thing I don't like about Fallout, there's some armors and guns, and there's so many gun mods. They don't really fit there. They're too polished. They're too clean. They're too new. It's a trick, I think, to try and get something that matches, which is also the same thing with mod making. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to find a balance with how vampirism works. Because Elder Scrolls has its own way of doing vampirism. Some of it's annoying, so let's make them less annoying, and let's try and keep it somewhat true to the intention that they had. So what I want to do is I'm going to create an ability. We're going to add. Sticking to the same thing. The reason I do AAA is because sometimes you've got a pull-down list where you need to choose stuff, and it's really annoying to scroll through. In the creation kit for Skyrim and Fallout, it's not as bad, so I don't do AAA. I use my own 3-letter acronym for the mod that I'm creating. But for this one, it's too annoying. So we're going to call this, I don't know, let's just call it drained buff. That sounds backwards. When we drain someone dry, we enhance. Or buff AAA. He calls his vampiric kiss, but I don't want to be stealing names of stuff. Look, dark buffs. 01. This ID. Not easy to change. The name that's displayed, we can change that anytime, so I'm not too worried about that. So this will be, just call it Dark Embrace. So in order to get this buff, you need to kill someone. You need to suck them dry. An ability, allow. Effect always applies. That's fine. We don't have a script effect. So what we're going to do, we're going to fortify health by 1. I think we'll do it when we drain our first victim. We'll give a 1, and then it'll be to every 5 after that or something. Let's try it out. Fortify magicka. 1. Fortify fatigue. 1. Whoop. Now, what I need to figure out though is whether what numbers to set these to, because we may want to make higher numbers, because later in the game, you know, you level up, you're getting a fair chunk of health each time just from a level up, but we don't want to be overpowered as a vampire either. So striking that balance, not making things too powerful, because that's what some mods do. They make things too powerful. They get over ambitious. Right, new power, new ability created. So acoustic doubling, you've only ever modified very lightly, partially, like you said, to keep a nice balance, but also because you've never had the brain capacity patience to add more than 10 to 15 mods. That is completely fair. And Skyrim especially, because to me, Skyrim needs a lot more stuff changed to make it better and modern and playable. And there's lots of mods that clash with each other that you don't really know. And this is part of the problem I have with the YouTube channels. I watch so many YouTube channels that demonstrate mods because I love this stuff, so I watch it. The problem is they don't have the time to actually play test them to say whether you should use it or not, because sometimes you absolutely should not use particular mods depending on what you're doing and what you've got installed already. I intend maybe to do a video series about some of that. I'm not sure. It might be a lot of work, but with my understanding of how mods work, and I also want to explain a bit more about how mods work, because a lot of people don't realize that, including things like conflicts and bash patches and things like that. We'll see. Maybe I'll get there. Need more time. Okay, drained victims. Let's copy that. We say AA drained victims equals AA drained victims plus 1. So Vito, sorry, I missed your comment before. Is it based on a % of max HP? Are you referring to the buff that I did just before? So what I'm doing is, no, it's not percentage, it's hard-coded value, because that's another thing that makes this difficult, is because if it's percentage, yeah, I could just increment 1% or something each time, or 0.5%, and it'll just scale nicely in the whole game. But the buff I've created, unfortunately, no, you can only do hard values. So, you know, at the moment, I'm buffing them by 1. Okay, that doesn't seem like much, but if you drain 10 people, then you've got 10 extra health. And at the start of the game, I've got like 60 health. So that's a decent increase already. But at level 50, I actually don't know what your typical health looks like. I need to do some research so I can figure out an appropriate scaling system as we go through this. This is the hard part with making mods and making them balanced. Oblivion's got challenges with how it calculates things to keep it balanced. If you want to modify them, I think they're not too bad in terms of vanilla. Vanilla balancing's not too bad, I think. Although magic is a bit nerfed, as is Skyrim. Magic's a bit nerfed, so there's mods that fix that. But Skyrim's got a lot of balance issues to start with. But yes, this is 1 health. This is 1 for stamina point, 1 magic point, 1 health point to start with. But I'm going to make more of those buffs. Let's just make it work for 1 first. So we're increasing the number of drained victims. Go player dot add spell. Whoops. Adds the ability. It's a permanent ability. Now what we're going to have to do though is when there's more of these to choose from, I'm going to have to put some if statements in there to remove the ones we don't need and add only the ones we do need, but we'll worry about that later. Now there's a way with message box for the moment. Now we'll just do a message. Message is victims drained. Need to check because you can pass variables to it, so that's what I want to check. Variables to it? We can. Yeah, that's what we want. 0% F, and then we put the value in victims drained. That, and then we put in drained victims. Work as a global. See if it compiles anyway. Might need to set it to a local variable first. Let's see. Script. Feeding on a target. Paste. Compile. No, doesn't like it. Cool. Well, I'm assuming it's that one actually. Let's double check. Trained victims not found. Ooh, how do we address globals then? I thought it would just find them. And to learn how to do global variables. Fucking hell. Alright. Vito, you just look, the max HP in Oblivion is between 300 and 375, depending on when you got your points to level up. That's great, thank you very much. So if we say drain, 50 victims over our playthrough, that means killing them. Which you can do to friendly NPCs, but, that's going to have detrimental effects. I will prefer to do it to the likes of bandits and stuff, but that would be 50 extra hit points. So that is a help, but it's not too overpowered. It's like another 20%. Yeah, that's probably all right. Let's stick with 1 for now. Thanks, man. That's actually really helpful. Global variables, global scripts extended. No, how do I... Globals, here we go. Variable for any script or condition to reference without being linked to a particular quest. Yes. Created it. Short and long. It's fine. Not helpful because... Find variable. Dude, I created it. Do I need to? Moment. Not enough to find it. Anytime here. Variable is unnecessary. Variables defined in quest scripts are generally used instead. I could create my own. Maybe we do that. We can just add another variable to the existing vampire quest script. ID dot variable name or get quest variable quest ID var name. Maybe it needs to be initialized. No, it's already initialized as 0. And this is the other boring side and the tedious side to mod making. Thought it would be easier just to use a global variable to track it. Either. happens if we... Other ones. Fame. Try it with fame. Does it find the fame variable? Oh, I know. I know what I'm doing wrong. That didn't work either, and it's a syntax thing. I'm trying to do it like Skyrim syntax. Ah. The way it works is we say set the variable 2, the variable +1. And syntax is a killer. Hey, compiled. Save. Cool. Let's try it out. Launch the game. And the game immediately crashed. That happens sometimes. Try it again. Oh no. That's not going well. And that immediately crashed. Oh shit. You know what it is? I think. Yeah. It's alright, we can fix it. Didn't think of this. When you disable when you disable mods in Mod Organizer 2 and then re-enable them, any plugins are then bumped to the bottom of the list. And now when we disabled Northern UI before, re-enabled it, the plugins are down the bottom here and I need to move them back up. Because they're now overriding the bash patch. This is always a gotcha. All right, so user interface. Where is Oblivion not be happy? Yeah, I know. This is why I have things ordered and categorized. The Heartland mod list also does a lot of this out of the box for us, so we don't need to do it all from scratch. But retextured caves. Where's that? Oh, I may not have an ESP. What does have an ESP? Doesn't. Oh, there's diverse effect icons. I reckon that's the one that's changing our ocean icon as well. And better window. Where is something that has loop menu? Oh, that's the one we're trying to move. Open map. Dirt Alive. I don't even know what that is. All right, Hack Dirt Alive is a PSP. We're going above Hack Dirt. Find dirt. Some of these are unticked because they're optional ones that came with the mod list and they're disabled by default, so that adds more clutter to sort through. Too far. Here it goes. Hack Dirt Alive. Okay, this is where we're going to. 41. We're going above 41. Come on, scroll up. Jungle. I don't know what that is. Going underneath that. All of these are just texture mods with no plugins. Cool, I think that's about right. So 41. There's also under 41. Man. Loot menu, dynamic map, then loot menu. Cool. Yeah, that's fixed it or not. Yes, fixed it. Huzzah! Yay! Oh man, the joy. This is why Acoustic Goblin, you gotta be careful of the mods you put on. Alright, so we are doing a drain test. Let's see what happens if we drain this fool. Do we get the little message saying how many we've drained correctly? And do we get a buff? So if we look at our stats, 68 health. We're looking at, and then these are our existing vampire buffs. Let's feed on him, please. And we want to drain him dry. Dark Embrace added. You're killing... Oh, that's a Dark Brotherhood thing. Does it show the number? No, we overloaded the messages. That's fine for now. Fortify... We need to fortify health from our ability of Dark Embrace. Doesn't really just show... This is going to turn into a long list of active effects. Skyrim has the same problem. Now, half of these little buffs are just from one enhancement. Cool, and our stats, 69 health. Giggity giggity. So one more health point, one more magicka, one more fatigue. That is working. What is this? Is this my... That's my other lighting tracking ability there. So I'll need to change that at some stage. Cool. So let's quit. Let's change that into... Here. Oh, I turned off the message, that's why. What I thought was wrong. Let's be more role-playing. Say... Further embrace side of someone's a writer, they can think of something better, let me know. I can always add it and change this later. Total of whoa, no. Victims drained. Looks pretty good. Save, let's test that out. Target script, paste, compile, yep, compiled. All right. Continue. Okay. Slurp. Drain. Further. Embrace the dark side of vampirism with a total of 1 victims drained. He's dead. Oh, we didn't get his dramatic noise. Maybe we just do that in a message at the top. Cool, that's working. Let's take a quick break. Bear with me for... And I'll come back shortly. So I'm gonna have to disappear soon to have some dinner. But anyway, I shall be back shortly. Hold 5. Maybe hold 2, be quicker than that. Do some more fiddling. Probably going to drop off in about half an hour to do dinner and stuff. After dinner, I'm going to probably keep doing some mod making, but I probably won't stream it because I don't want to be boring everyone to death. But I might, if Vito and Frosty, if you guys are talking about character stuff, in like, I don't know, an hour to an hour and a half's time, I'll be around to chat. Because I'll drop off for a little bit, but I might catch you on then. Discord, on our Discord chat. But if I miss you, don't stress. I will catch up with you all at another time. Alright, so Dark Embrace, that's what we've called it for now. You know, doing it every 5, you get another 5, because otherwise 10 of them. Like that for now. Worry, because the only way I can't do it via codes. I can't just go health +1. I tried doing that and it doesn't work. The more drainage. Yay! Welcome. How goes the modding adventure? We have some success. I've had some other weird frustrations, but I can give you a quick demo right now if you like. Let's do that. Let's do another quick test for Jay. Check this out. So, what I've been focusing on thus far, and this is what I started tinkering with during the week as well, was changing how some of the feeding works. Not an easy thing, but I have found a way. When you feed, there's no actual way for me to get a hold of who we're feeding on to do stuff to them. So I found another way to do it by creating another magic effect that just hits everyone sleeping right next to us, and hopefully we've grabbed the right person. We can come up, we can feed, and then we get a menu. What do I want to do? I want to extract a vial of blood, please. Now we have vial of blood. Now it's blue iconed. I think that's because there's an icon mod, so I need to figure out separately how to change that icon. But right now, anytime I create any new potion, it's going to be blue. So that's what we're stuck with for the moment. But that's a vial of blood. I'm going to make it so you can sip on vials of blood instead of having to feed all the time. The other thing we can do is this. We're putting limits on as well, so you can't keep feeding on the same person. And drain them dry for a permanent boost to our abilities. Further embrace the dark side of vampirism with a total of 1 victim's drained. He's dead. And did that work? Did that correctly give me my new buffs as well? Yes, Dark Embrace. +1 permanent health. Cool. Let's add some more of those. So what we can do is maybe every 3. Maybe that's a good balance. Every 3 we get 3. Right. Do it like this. Get a new one. Up the magnitude. 3. Saves having to do 5. Realistically, how many NPCs are you going to drain dry in your playthrough? Some people might go absolutely mental and do it a lot. I'm going to have to put a limit on it because I have to create an effect for each level. There's no other way to do it in Oblivion. In Skyrim, you can script it. You can just say health +1. Can't do that here. Vito's been chatting to us about character creation for his D&D adventure he's going to be taking us through on Discord in the near future. Looking forward to that. Make that a regular thing. Maybe one day we'll stream one. Dungeon Master, who's one of my friends from real life, who also has a Discord. He doesn't have a Discord, but he does have a Twitch channel. We're going to do some collaboration for multiplayer games at some stage, as well as some tabletop stuff. He has some experience in acting out tabletop stuff. Keep making some of these. This is where it gets tedious. What we gotta do? Watch be mod life. Yes, keep making more. And we've drained 21 victims. A lot. A lot of victims to drain dry. Yeah, 24. Make sure my maths, my multiplication tables, primary or elementary school, are up to scratch. Vito, you get names mixed up sometimes, don't worry, so do I. I think we all do. No stress, man, no one's going to give you a hard time about it. Especially when there's so many names we have floating around between your streams, my streams. It's all good, man. Alright, my dad sometimes gets our names wrong. Calls us like by his sheepdog's names occasionally, so don't stress. Of course, we then make fun of him when he does it, so, you know, that's fair, right? Okay, so that's 30... victims. Guess we should try and crank it up to 60, right? Someone might go really hard and do that. Go to 60, a total of 60. So let's keep going. The dream beats in the background. Hopefully I haven't put anyone to sleep too hard. Or if I have, I hope you're having a good snooze. This week's streams, by the way, will be finishing. So our real streams. This is not a real stream. This is just an ad hoc random stream. I thought I'd give a try. Show what it's like to make mods if people are interested in seeing what that's like. With someone who's semi-competent. I'm only semi-competent in mod making, but anyway, here we are. So this week's streams, Monday night, we're cracking into Chapter 5 of The Witcher. The Witcher 1. And then Tuesday, finishing Chapter 5 and the epilogue. Assuming I've got the timing right on that. I'm hoping I've got that about right. Then Thursday session, possibly kicking off playing, possibly playing Guardians of the Galaxy. That's going to be the game we play in between. After that, I'm planning on playing Oblivion, assuming I get everything ready and created properly. If I don't, to find another little game to slot in the middle. I want to play a modern game, because I need to actually put my gaming system under some kind of pacing. But it's also meant to be a good game. And it's a quick break from doing so much fantasy stuff that we've been doing for a while. You didn't know there was a Guardians of the Galaxy game? Yeah, it only came out late last year. Sometime last year, I think. And it's flown under everyone's radar because they produced an Avengers game. And it's not great. It was designed to be a live service game with lots of microtransactions to the point where it's detrimental. And you know what? The game is not doing well. So when, I think was it Square Enix created Guardians of the Galaxy? It's a single player game. It's actually meant to be very good. Single player, bit of story, bit of fun with your favorite characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's actually a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Is that coming out this year? Maybe I should be timing to play that at the same time as that movie's out. But anyway. Pretty sure we'll play it soon. I've got my... Then 60. Yeah, cool. So we're on the right path. It's all right. I haven't messed up my math yet. And 60. All right. This is as many as I'm going to make for the moment. I'll need to figure out how to do efficient scripting code to give the right level. New form, cool. All right, we've created our dark embrace buffs. So this is what happens when you embrace the dark side of your vampirism. Get a permanent boost your attributes. Your health, your magicka, and your stamina / fatigue. Now, how am I going to turn that into a message? The other things with Guardians of the Galaxy is it's meant to be, it's meant to look pretty good. I think you play as Peter Quill. You can't play as the other characters, but you can command them and stuff. And the banter and the storytelling's meant to be decent, so give it a crack, I guess. Find out. Okay, so this is the messaging. Now we need to give the actual buffs. You do functions. I don't think you can do functions in the scripts. I would like to just call a function to remove all of them. We discovered earlier that if you remove a buff and add the same buff back in too quickly, it doesn't like it, and it doesn't add it in. Like a race condition that clashes. This way. Let's do it. I think I just have to do a massive number of if statements. There's no other way to intelligently code this, because no lists either. There's a list function. There's form lists in Skyrim and Fallout, but in Oblivion there's no form lists. So I think we've got to do chonky if statements. All right. If victims is 1. All right, let's do it this way. Let's do it. It hurts me a little bit because it's not as clean as it could be. I'm forced to do it this way. Basically, each time we're going to be adding one and removing one. It means if somehow something gets messed up, you can end up with 2 copies of it. It's going to be a limitation for the moment. Put a note there for myself. Okay, player.add spell. Dark buffs 01. Else if for this 3 cool 6 9 12 15 18 21 whoop nope fucked it 24 there's already a long ass list 27 halfway there with 30 3 36 oops 36 whoop 39 42 5 oh man 48 4 57 so we don't want the extensions. Sorry, go away. 50 nope 60 else if it is 60 cool. All right, save that. These are all our possible levels. So at the moment we've got a soft or a hard cap of 60. If you drain more than 60 people, you're not going to get any more benefits. 60 is a lot though, but I can always add more later if we need. Okay. Add. This is where having consistent numbering makes it easy, so you can just make it all match without having to do too much thinking. Oh, having said that, I already made a mistake. 18, 18. 21. What I should do is I should copy just that. 24. 27. 30. 3. Keep forgetting that this is not particularly visible resolution on the stream either. I figure no one's really looking at the micro detail of what I'm writing the code, right? Thought it'll be something different for today anyway. I've never done a mod making stream before. Okay, 60. Then we need to do the removals. Dot remove spell. Remove spell 01. Three. 06. Each time we're removing the previous one. What we're not doing is removing all of them in one hit. Which is what I like to do in Skyrim mod making because it's a bit cleaner. Make sure you don't miss stuff. Problem is I can't do a function where I can just have a nice big chunk of code that I just call. Just I go call the thing that clears it all. I could potentially chuck them into a spell. Or a spell to do it. Done that trick in Skyrim a bunch. But now we're just going to stick with it like this. I can always change it later. Three. 36. Nearly there. 42. Now I'm fully refreshed in my 3 times multiplication tables. Four and 7. Save. All right, there's all our buffs. What we can do is test it. Let's grab the code, chuck it into our feed spell. Script. Compile. Hey, first time. I've never had so many first time compiles before. I've always got issues when I compile stuff for Skyrim the first time. Alright, let's jump in and feed on the dude. Okay, so, set AAA drained, victims to, I don't know, let's say 41. Now when we drain this guy, it'll think, hey, we've drained 42 people. Give us an appropriate buff. Drain him. Oh, he's down. Dark Embrace added. Further embrace your dark side with 42 victims drained. There's up there, and if we check our magic effects, fortify health. Ooh, Dark Embrace 1 is still there. There you go. So there's a fail. But I've got Dark Embrace 1 still on there. Why have we got that one? Is it added it on? Oh, I might have had the original testing code still there. All right, we'll fix that. But got 42 boosted health. Aim for Magicka. It's kind of cool how actually it stacks to show all of the things that are affecting Magicka. That's kind of cool. So Breton, being a Breton, has boosted it, but also Dark Embrace. Excellent. And if we look at our stats, oh, that's some nice chonky stats too. Excellent. That's working. Awesome. Check our code. Here it is. There it is up here. We added Dark Buffs 01. That was our test code. So we're going to take that out now. There's our code that adds all the others. Okay, so only after every 3 victim feeds, every 3rd victim draining, we will get an increase stats. Awesome. Leave. All right. What to tackle next? What blood vials? Never accidentally trigger stuff down the bottom here. My best to write good looking, safe script code. All right. Now, do we want to try and tackle feeding with a potion? How hard that's going to be yet. So the vampire script is what handles feeds. Do is make it so when you sip on a vial, it is like a full-blown feed, or it only ups you 1 stage. Don't know how I feel about that yet. I don't know if I want to count it as a full-blown feed. I think it would be kind of cool to have real feeding be more beneficial. I'm also conscious of the hassle that it takes. Sometimes you can't feed on people because it's just not something that's achievable. It's too hard. Or too inconvenient. Trying to make things. Let's do it as a full-blown feed for the moment. Do that. Need to do Vampirism 25 and start the counters over again. So I need to do this code again. Or move this code. Spell. Fire off the spell. So we're always executing the same code. That's a cleaner way to do it. Already got an ability here where we summon something to cast the spell to do stuff. Vito, you'd make a vial 0.25 of a full feed. That's what I was thinking. Then do I make it so you can extract multiple vials perhaps then? Maybe when you extract, because my initial thought was, all right, you sip a vial, you go up 1 stage in your vampirism. So that it's not as good as doing a full-blown feed, and you're still motivated to do feeds. All right, Vito, that's what you reckon. All right, we could do that. A bit more effort involved. We have to put all of this into plain feeding code. This here is or counts as first feed and any other feeds. It goes through here, so removes all the other bonuses, re-adds level 1 abilities, and I've changed the message here so it's less annoying. Might take more to do that, but it's more immersive. Yeah, I agree. Maybe we make it when you extract vials, you can get like 3 or 4 vials. What I'm doing as well is I've got a basic function that I need to expand on that stops you from being able to extract or feed on the same person over and over again. The game by default lets you feed on the same person as much as you like, but there's no advantage to keep feeding because we're doing extra stuff here. Because the other thing I'm going to implement is a ranking system. So, you know, you become like a fledgling to a vampire to a master vampire. I'm thinking basing it on number of feeds, but some people do time. Maybe I do both. I'm not sure yet. So feeding on the same person over and over again wouldn't pay off for that either. Then you'll have more powerful abilities as you go up in rank as well, is what I'm thinking. To that effect anyway. Seems like a cool idea. That's what a lot of other mods do, but I'll do it to a sensible level. So run a timer checking for 24-hour intervals. This is a massive chunk of code. Is run this is all about the diseases and when you first become a vampire. This is when you are a vampire. Scripting for state changes as a vampire. That includes when you feed, it goes up to here, and down here is the bit where you don't feed for a day. It switches out the abilities and it'll generate a dream. That's in the game mode, so that's end. Where's the begin? Begin game mode, that's the start. There's this game mode, menu mode thing that I'm not used to that's in Oblivion. It's not in Skyrim or Fallout modding. We do. Leave the bring down a state. So if we go up a state, all we're doing is grabbing this then. I put that in a new magic effect script, which will then be tied to the potion. That same effect can be called in a feeding. So feeding will leave here then. I'm gonna bump it up a notch. That's not too hard, Vito. We can do that. I need to make a new script that is a magic effect script. Add-on script. Let's change that to a ESC. Yes. I think that's how, I'm assuming that potions use a magic effect as well. That's how Skyrim does it. Make a new script. We'll call it AAA. A full-blown feed script. It is a blood vial script, I'm thinking. Hello, Faithful. How you doing? So right now I'm making a vampire mod for Oblivion. Because made mods for the other games. Never done it for Oblivion. So there's a little bit of a learning experience, but I also don't like a lot of the vampire overhauls that exist. They either do too much, they either have too many dependencies and complexities, or they deviate too much from the lore. Midnight Rose, tabbed up and listening while you settle in for bed. No problems. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Try not to get too excited about anything and startle you. Yep, this is not a normal stream. Normally I play role-playing games that are a lot more organized, focused. We talk about the lore, we have a good time. That happens during weekdays. This was just a random stream I thought I would trial. I thought, let's try doing this, see what interest it gets. Also, I'm planning to do a full playthrough of Oblivion on my main stream soon. And I want to be a vampire. I dislike a lot of the existing vampire mods. So we're doing our own. I need to think of a cool name still. Now, Oblivion playthrough is already heavily modded as well. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be good fun. Oh, we're doing a blood potion or a blood vial. So you sip on it. Let's grab some code. Let's just copy this straight from change this. Oh, this is going to need to change too. I've already modified so I don't do these. Oh, take this. So the game uses the active value vampirism here for model stages. I need to take that out because I've already changed that this doesn't happen, so you don't get a distorted face. I'm gonna have to come back to that. Or we just remove these if statements. Let's do it right now. Because already removed the dependency for that. We're not having it. I'm going to use some of this same code. Have to duplicate it into our script for blood vials. Okay, that should work. I'm just going to update our vampire quest script. Oop. Paste, compile. Yes, first time compile. Yay. All right, so that's done too. Faithful, favorite Elder Scrolls game for me is still Skyrim. Now, that's for a few reasons. Skyrim, being a more modern game, just feels a bit more fun, I think. To be fair, I've only played Oblivion 10 years ago, or 11 years ago. I last played Oblivion in I think it was 2012 or 2013. Might have been 2013, so let's call it 10 years ago. It wasn't as modded as I've got it now with really good graphics. But Skyrim, for me, I've played it more, and I've done a lot more Skyrim mod installation, but also mod creation myself. I've made a number of Skyrim mods. For me, at the moment, Skyrim is still my favorite. I think the writing in Oblivion is better. Quests in Oblivion, most of them are better. But the thing that makes Skyrim feel more fun, I think, is just it still feels a bit more immersive. And I much prefer the leveling and perk system in Skyrim than what Oblivion has. I think it's the immersiveness, it's a bit more modern, and the leveling mechanisms are better, to me. I know that Oblivion's default or vanilla leveling up system can be more role-playing intense, but I don't like how it encourages you to min-max by only leveling swords, so you get the multiplier stacked. Now only leveling magic, so you get the multiplier stacked. Yeah, it's not as fun. You would agree? Thank you. fair enough if you disagree. Similarly, look, I actually prefer Fallout 4 to the other Fallouts. Both Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I think, have some more compelling story elements at times and some more role-playing decision-making at times. But Fallout 4 feeling a bit more modern. I actually enjoyed Fallout 4 more than I did those others. I never finished them though, to be fair. I never finished 3 or New Vegas. I do know what happens in them. I got fairly close, but I never quite finished them. But Fallout 4 I enjoyed a bit more. Again, feels a bit more modern. I liked the base building stuff, and I really loved the power armor system. I hated how power armor worked in Fallout 3. And I think the writing and the plot twists are good. I recognize that in Fallout 4 there's not as much major decision making that happens in the other games. Midnight Rose, Sanguine Knight maybe. Ooh, that's not bad. Play off Dark Brotherhood's Black Door Riddles. What is the color of night? Sanguine, my brother. Ooh. What's the other one from Skyrim? What is what is Life's Great Deception? Oh, I've forgotten the Dark Brotherhood quest. Question from Skyrim. Gonna bug me now if I don't remember it. Is Life's Great? Oh, it's something, my brother. Let's look it up. Skyrim. Dark. Innocence. Oh, that's it. Innocence, my brother. Thank you. That was gonna bug me so much. What is life's greatest illusion? Innocence, my brother. That's the one. Yes. Oh, let's. So that's fixed. All right. So I've done that to compensate for the changes that I've already done, where we're removing the vampirism morph level because the game has bugs with face morphs. A lot of people try and get rid of them anyway, so I've done that. So we're doing a blood vial script, so what we want to do is grab this feeding stuff. Don't need the dream code, but let's grab this. So what I'll do is when I make changes, because I'm going to be adding more abilities as well, I just have to add it here and add it to the vial script. So that's cool because although it's code duplication, it's easy. It's just copy pasting. Because Oblivion does not seem to support calling of functions. Midnight Rose, you're so far into the Brotherhood that you know all the riddles. I've loved doing the Dark Brotherhood quests, and that's it's going to be funny too because playing both Oblivion and Skyrim, those games ultimately always suck you in. It's very hard to do the true lawful good alignment. You can't do it unless you ignore Daedric quests and some other stuff. But to be honest, I'm cool with that. So playing these games on stream is going to be the first time on stream that we're not super heroic, super noble. We're going to be doing some dark decisions. We're going to be going down the vampire route and werewolf route. We're going to be using my hybrid mod that lets you be both. We're going to be making some dark decisions to further our own power at times, but still being mostly heroic, mostly. What is the music of life? Silence, my brother. So where are these other riddles from? I haven't encountered them. So is some of these from like Morrowind and Oblivion? I don't remember any riddles from Oblivion. It's too long ago that I played it. And I've never played Morrowind longer than like 2 hours. So I don't know that either. These. So Faithful ignoring Daedric and Dark Brotherhood quest is missing out on the good content. Exactly. Yes. And I kind of like it. Like it's somewhat rare for games, especially role-playing ones, to sort of force you or really encourage you into doing something that sometimes is a little bit on the darker side. I kind of like that element. Now you still can choose to be holy and everything and skip it. And in Skyrim, you actually can choose not to join the Dark Brotherhood and instead take them down by killing Astrid when she first quizzes you or captures you and tasks you with doing the first step in that quest. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that. I've never wanted to do that because I've always wanted to do the Dark Brotherhood quests. But you can do that. And then I think there's a small quest to team up with the the Secret Service guys, the Potentius, whatever they're called, those guys to take them down. So that's kind of cool. I do like it when games have subtle choices you don't realize are there. But then sometimes you miss out on it because you didn't realize it's there. The Silence is Falkreath, Innocence is Dawnstar, Sanguine is Cheydinhall. Cool. Like that. I'm impressed with your lore knowledge, Midnight Rose. I like to think I've got some good lore knowledge of Elder Scrolls. I didn't have that. Okay, so what are we doing here? If we're 2, we're removing them, and this is where, if it's 4. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this to be. This is for going down a notch. We want to be going up a notch. So this is going to be 1. We are 1. 3. Oh no, this is all over the place. But what we need is 2, 3, 4. So if we are 4, going up to 3. Cool. What we're doing therefore is this. We're going to say set PC Vampire to 3. When we drink the vial, we're going to change this to say spell, remove spell, remove spell, remove spell. So going from 4 to 3, remove all the vampire level 4 stuff. I'm going to add 3 stuff. In ESO for the Gold Coast, what is the flavor of fear? Sublime. Ooh. So in ESO, I don't think I've done. Have I done Dark Brotherhood? I know I've done Thieves Guild, and I've become a vampire in ESO. I don't know if I've done Dark Brotherhood stuff. I don't think I got into it yet. Missed out. I still got my ESO account. I've not played ESO for a while. But yeah, those Dark and Daedric quests, oh, they're so good. Some of them are amazing. Because Vile as well, because it's always trying to tempt you with stuff. Awesome. Alright, so we're going to, if we're stage 3, the potion is going to take us to stage 2. We're going to say, move all the level 3 stuff and all the level 2 stuff. Like that. Blackwood, Borderlands there. So what is the gift of death? Solace. Oh, that's great. Oh, these riddles are so good. I love them. It just makes me love the Dark Brotherhood even more. Buggle sauce. You're tucking into a bowl of leftover rainbow veggies. Is this because the baby saucers didn't eat them, and now you are eating them? Oh, now the other thing I haven't talked about yet either is I intend to make a power. So for me in this vampire mod, because you've always got 4 stages, right? You typically either want to be in stage 1 or stage 4. The ones in the middle, it's harder to control which stage you're in because they just elapse with time. I'm going to make stages 1 to 3 being very similar. Slight increases in your descent into vampire beastliness, but whatever. The main focus being 1 and 4. 4 is your full vampire mode, boost to combat and combat related stuff. 1 being your blend into human mode, because that's what happens when you feed. So more, a bit more, I guess, blending in, persuasion, etc. And I'm going to have the ability, so we've already got the ability to feed. That's there in the game. We're adding the ability to drink blood potions, so we can go up a stage if we want to, without having to go and do a full feed. So that's happening. But on top of that, I'm having a power. I'm going to create a power where you can just embrace, I don't know what the right word is yet. I'll come up with a cool name, but you're going to consume your, vampire blood and drop to stage 4 with a buff, plus the buffs you get from being in stage 4. So you can more control your level of vampirism. So it's not so annoying to try and land in a specific level. That's what we're going to do soon as well. The sparkle sauce. Oh, the baby sauces did love the veggies. All right, so you're just eating some as well. And Minute Rose, the Dark Brotherhood is your absolute favorite faction aside from the Thieves. You always go for Listener and Guild Master titles. I agree, they are the most interesting guilds to be part of. The Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild, yeah, they're fine. But these are the interesting ones. They've got cool quests. You have fun doing something a bit wrong or whatever, and you have cool rewards. Completely agree with you. So I need to just finish this vial. So when we need to go to 1. These level 2 things need to be removed. To add. What else do we gain when we first convert? No special abilities by default. Okay. Them later. Cool. So if we're a rank 2, should work. If either. So we drink the blood vial. If we are rank 2, we go to 1. We're already rank 1, it does nothing. Rank 3, we go to 2. Rank 4, we go to 3. Remove the stuff. Yeah, that looks like it should work. Alright, cool. Copy. Let's make a new script. Blood vial script. Magic effect. Save. Oh, first compile. I've never had so many first compiles. And now we go to our blood potion we created earlier. Our blood vial, sorry. I'm going to remove this. It doesn't restore health. Yep, get rid of it. We shall add new script effect. A blood vial script. Duration. Of, I guess, 1 second. Maybe that means you can't just smash them all. You have to, like, drink them one at a time. Let's leave it at 0 for the moment. See what happens if you, like, smash a whole bunch down. Effect is hostile. No, it is not. Restoration, but not that that matters. Cool. Save. And as per Vito's suggestion, well, that I suggested and Vito confirmed, let's the feed script when we create a vial, create multiple vials. Training one. Let's create, I don't know, 3 vials when we. Let's change that in our feeding, our new feeding script. Save, load and test. Sparkle Sauce, are we going for a good vampire like Angel or psycho like Spike? Mostly good like Angel. But still ultimately tempted to some dark stuff. In Oblivion, it's going to be less vampirism decisions to make, but in Skyrim there will be, because we'll be doing some of that. We do have to make some more darker decisions, but mostly angel-ish, I guess. And Sparkle Sauce asked these questions because she's been watching Buffy recently. Frosty, you've missed some. No, that's okay. No stress. Then to reset stream. No, that's all good. We're going to probably be dropping off shortly because I need to have dinner and stuff. And then if you and Vito are on Discord for talking about character creation for up-and-coming Dungeons & Dragons tabletop stuff, I'll join for that as well. But that'll be a bit later. And Midnight Rose, so out of the faction NPCs, your faves are Lucian, Lechance, and Cicero. Serana is cool, but you find yourself favouring the other two. Well, the other two, I think, are more unique, right? Serana, I love Serana. You can't not love Serana. She's the best follower, and she's just kind of chill. Love Serana, absolutely. Cicero as a crazy dude, especially as that whole quest unfolds. Well done. Lucian is so committed to the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion. You can't not sort of admire it. But also, I believe Lucian Lechance is the spirit you summon when you learn that ability in the Dark Brotherhood quest in Skyrim, right? Because it's like 200 years later. You can summon the spirit of Lucian Lechance. That's kind of cool. Sparkle Sauce, can we just eat our enemies? Yes, sort of. So my intention when I play these, although I'm making a mod now that allows you to drain people, my intention is that we will not drain good people. And when you just feed on them, it doesn't hurt them. And in fact, I'm going to make it as well. When you feed on people, it boosts their likingness of you. You're sort of putting them under a bit of a spell. So we get some vials of blood. Let's test that out. In Skyrim, Midnight Rose, you always have Cicero and the spirit. Oh, so you so you get Cicero as your follower, and you use summon Lucian Lechance. That is very wise. Great choice. Well done. And Vito, evil vampire to you is like Victor in Underworld. Yep, I can see that. I love the Underworld movies. Yeah, and Victor is so well portrayed. Yeah, it's very well done. I agree. But we won't be a full-blown evil character. We'll be like a character who has dark traits but tries to be good. For the most part. Good vampire is like Celine. Yes, completely agree. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Although, to be honest, there might be a couple of things in Skyrim that we might not be quite as heroic like Celine. I don't know yet. But we're still going to be doing the Dark Brotherhood quest each time. And both of those are being an assassin. So that's what we're going to be doing because it's fun. And it's cool stories. Alright, so what we've got now. We've got our vial. Items. Vial of blood. Now what I want to do is set PC Vampire. Set TC Vampire to 4. So we've effectively been set. Oh, that triggers straight away, does it? That's impressive. Now we've got dreams procking off their head. No. Why have we got dreams constantly? I may have broken something. I have broken something. We are stuck hearing about dreams. Oh dear. Now let's hit this and hit the tab button. Oh, hang on. Oh, come on. There we go. So we've got... Where's our vampire? Vampirism 100. At the moment we've got Because I artificially boosted it, we've jumped our vampire. We've got vampire level 1 and 4 stuff layered on each other. Let's see if I try and drink a potion. Okay, what is going on here? Now, how did the potion work? That's the first question. Yes. Still got the level 1 stuff. Okay. This will be where I've broken the Vampire Quests script. Neutral vampire is like Babette from Skyrim. I don't know. Babette sounds pretty dodgy because you listen to her talk sometimes where she has done all these things to like, because she's in the form of a child, right? So she's like 100-something-year-old child vampire who is an assassin. She's done some pretty dodgy things to trick her targets into stuff so she could kill them. Chaotic neutral? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair, that's true. She's not necessarily evil, yeah, true. And she's not good either. Yeah, chaotic neutral. I'll pay that. I like that. Yeah, good call. So what I modified here was here. If PC is 2, do this. Get random percent. Where we're stuck in a loop here. We're stuck in a loop hearing about dreams. 0 and 9, else if it's less than 15. Shouldn't have triggered, I don't know why that. Stuck seeing this multiple times. We were looping through this. Does this thing loop constantly, maybe? Alright, well, we can test that. Message in. A debug message. It just says loop. To a message box. So I think this is going to be something I have to come back and fix after dinner. Whoops, that's not the right button. Reckon that vampire quest must frequently loop. That's very inefficient, Bethesda. Why are you looping through this constantly? Okay, so that's saved. Let's launch and have a look. See if I've busted it. Right, let's see. So, whoop, loop. Yep, it does. It constantly sits there looping. Wow, that is not good game design. This script is infinitely looping. Constantly looping, constantly checking all of this all the time. Ah. That's why we got stuck in the dream loop here. Because with these, each time it's going into here. Because I removed the other checks. That's why they had their 2-stage check. Okay, that's fine. We can do a variable that says, oh, we're changing. If PC vampire equals 2. By default, we're 1. We change to these. It's constantly trying to add these spells. Cool, I'm going to have to figure that out and sort it. You change one thing in Livestream game, loop, 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 loopity loop. Yeah, no, I didn't expect that. I mean, I'm still figuring out how some of the scripting mechanics work in Oblivion because they're not as sophisticated as Skyrim and Fallout, which I am used to. And that's where even for my own mods, I've had like a script attached to the player and it's there, but it only reacts to events. So it's not constantly looping through stuff. It looks like they didn't have some of those abilities in Oblivion. So yeah, this thing is constantly always looping and constantly checking the vampire stats. So every second, looks like approximately once a second, it's checking all of this entire script over and over and over and over and over and over and over forever. Does not feel like it's a good way to do things. I'm guessing other quest scripts do something similar. That means what they were doing is up here, they were constantly checking, is your vampirism value at 25? And if it is, and you're at level 2, we need to do something to make it even. It was constantly evaluating that. All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put in, a check to say, actually, well, I'll check, do they have... I don't want it doing expensive checks all the time. So doing like a remove or a does it have a spell, that's expensive, as in like it takes a lot of compute. And if it's doing that every second, that's going to waste a lot of compute power and scripting calculation. I'm going to find a more efficient way to make it skip these checks here. I don't know what that is yet, but that's my next task. And I'm probably going to have to take a break now and do that after dinner, I reckon. So, Midnight Rose, you've considered trying out mod making, but the coding and script for it seems confusing to me and it seems really daunting. And that's fair. It depends on what it is. What kind of mod did you have in mind? I guess that's the main question here. Because it is daunting. And I started doing Skyrim modding having not done programming or very much scripting ever. I did it at university and that was it, and I was bad at it. I was not good at it. I didn't like it. I was bad at it. And I decided to try and make a mod that's one of the most complicated things you can do in Skyrim, which is to balance the werewolf mechanisms with the vampire mechanisms to make a hybrid. I have it. I've done it. It's successful. I've improved it over the years and it still works, and I've added features, but it took a lot of learning. But that's what's helped me learn how to do this. But it depends. What kind of mod are you thinking of creating? Because yeah, some of them need a lot of scripting, and scripting is not super friendly or efficient in these games either. If you make things too scripted, the game gets bogged down, and in Skyrim and Fallout, if you make them too scripted and it can't keep up, it just lets go, just gives up, just drops that script, and just doesn't trigger it, and then it just waits for something else to happen because they decoupled it. So some of the combat mods that use a lot of scripting are not great because combat's very fast, lots of events are happening all the time, and the scripting engine needs to keep up with it, and sometimes it doesn't. So it just misses things and just gives up. You know, something's hit someone too many times, it can't keep track of it, so it just, you know, tracks the first bunch and then just forgets about it for a while and then tracks it again later. Very dodgy. You're not sure, you've never really delved into it. It was just a thought you dabble with, maybe something to do with quests or lore. And quests are actually something I don't know much about. I haven't really done quests mods. There's a lot more dicking around with that. The scripting usually isn't too complex, but you've got to balance forms, dialogue in particular, and that's complex, with scripts. That's a hard mix, whereas I've focused more on the scripting and the engineering side, mostly using magic effects to do what I need to do, which simplified it. Although it's some complex coding, at least it's just coding. It's not coding mixed with events, mixed with quest dialogue, mixed with all this other stuff, so I can't talk to that. But yeah, it's not easy. Definitely a challenge. And that's why there's so many shit mods that exist for Skyrim, where someone's just gone in and they've changed color of something, or they've made another weapon by copying it and then giving it some different stats. It's not that impressive. So that's why there's so many terrible mods. But good mods, like what Ine Shayon makes, he makes some really good mods. they're a lot more impressive when you factor all of that in. But that's going to be it for this session today. Thank you to everyone who's come along, who's talked to me, or to hang out and maybe see some of it in action. I don't know if it was boring or if it was actually interesting or what. I just thought I'd try it out because I know that some people we've been talking to in our little community have been a little bit interested in mods. I'm going to still work on this a bit later tonight. I'll post some updates on Discord. So speaking of which, if anyone is interested in joining our Discord and you haven't already, I'm just going to put the links in the chat. We've got an awesome community in here with all kinds of channels for things like memes, pet pics, game information, cooking recipes, wins and fails. We've got stuff where we talk about lore and headcanon, as well as we've got some talented artists in the community. So we get to see artwork and artful creations every now and again. So that's awesome too. So come along, get involved if you haven't already. Check it out. And Grizz, you just jumped on. You just jumped on just in time to drop. Well, it's probably good because then you wouldn't scrutinize all my coding attempts and my code formatting in the scripting. Not that you know this scripting language, but I'm sure you'd find something to try and pick on, right? All right, cool. So that's it. So look, check out my schedule on Twitch to see the real streams that we do during the week, where it is a lot more interesting, playing games, exploring the lore, and we're nearly finished The Witcher 1. So we're coming into Chapter 5 tomorrow night. That's what we'll be tackling, moving towards the finale. Then we'll play something in after that before we get to Oblivion. So probably something short like Guardians of the Galaxy. But the next major game with lots of juicy lore is going to be Oblivion. Hopefully I've got my mod finished by then, and that's what we'll be doing. Sparkle update and community scroll thing that comes in before you. Yes, I know. I haven't had the time to do that yet. I do need to update the game schedule. I'll look to do that, yes. But I also need to come up with some automated ways to more easily grab some of the pictures of art and pet pics from Discord and put them into the start screens because they're all a little bit out of date now. I know. I also need to be doing more of my high definition video edits for YouTube. I'm behind on that too. Lots of things I need to do. I can't fit it all in. One day I'll get there. But anyway. And Grizz, you got all confused. She's like, oh my God, is it Monday? Should have all played along. Hey, welcome. Yeah, no, it's all good. Were you making the diamond groin guard for you? Yes. Yes, correct. The pink diamond groin guard for you, Grizz. with super benefits to lots of things, but also some detrimental effects as well. There's always got to be a trade-off, right? Pink for manliness. You're just so manly that pink is perfectly fine, yeah? Cool. All right, so thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. It's a +5 to thrusting. -5 to walk speed. Dick kicks to the win. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, look, this mod will continue to be worked on. I may or may not do more streams depending on if people are wanting to see more of working on it in progress. Eventually, it will be both in the playthrough that we do for Oblivion. It will also be on the Nexus when it's ready, in case someone else wants to play it. I will also be making a video to showcase it at some stage as well, and that'll also be on the Nexus for anyone who wants to utilize it. So check that out. That's, I don't know, a few weeks away or something. We'll see. Missing a closing at line 54. Yeah, well, you wished. You can't. There's not even a line 54 on here right now, so shut up. Good try. Cool. All right, that's enough talking from me. This has been Nerdedness. I've been Shade. You've been awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the mods that I'm making. And we'll catch you tomorrow night in our normal stream, our highly formatted stream of The Witcher 1. See you there.